So, in case you were living under a rock this past week, you know that Roger Federer returned to tennis, and everyone and their mother watched. Me included, of course, and I'm going to lay out what I saw this past week out of Federer and what it means for his future. So, as we all know, Roger Federer made his return to tennis after 14 months with a knee injury this past week at the Qatar ExxonMobil Open in Doha. Just straight off the bat, I think that straight away what I noticed and what a lot of other people noticed, and it's probably my biggest takeaway from Federer's two matches in Doha this past week, and that would be that old Raj can still play. He's still got it. From what I saw, I didn't see much of a drop-off as far as his skills, his speed, reflexes, just stuff of that nature. I didn't see any signs of a massive decline from the last time that he was playing in Australia a year ago. And certainly I think that bodes well for Federer as this year will go on. I think that from this point, he can only get better because what's really just missing for him, in my opinion, was just that he wasn't match tough and he was lacking match play, and that really showed up in his second match against Basilashvili that he ended up losing in because he looked winded. He looked visibly fatigued by the time that match had gotten into its deciding set. And honestly, at almost 40 years of age this year, that's a pretty good problem to have if that's your main issue after 14 months off. You can't really replicate the intensity and tolls of match play no matter how long or hard you practice, so I think it's only natural that showed up as an issue for him in the latter part of his second match. He still competed exceptionally well in spite of that. You don't expect those champion qualities to go anywhere no matter how much the game has deteriorated, and in Federer's case, not that much, if at all, in comparison to the last time he played. And certainly those intangible qualities still showed through, as you would expect. I could point to more shanks than usual, a couple unusual miscues at the net, but that's just rust, and that's again what you would expect from a guy who is approaching 40, about to come back off a 14-month layoff. On the other hand, you did have a lot of those vintage genius Federer touch shots that only he's seemingly capable of pulling off. A couple of wives of that Wilson wand, as Robbie Koenig would say. More than enough to convince you that, yeah, Federer still got it. He can still play. It's that kind of stuff that made me think that he's still going to be in the ballpark of a top 5 player, as I said in my season preview video for him. Definitely, I think it's too early for some people to be sounding the alarm bells that he's finished. I think you gotta give him more time. I mean, what he did in 2017 is not normal. It was already amazing that he was doing that at 35 at the time. It's 4 years later and he's 39. So, like, yeah, just give him some time. Out of the 6 sets he played, I think you could say that one of them was really sharp, and that would be the first set he played back against Dan Evans. Despite that being a really tight tiebreaker, Dan Evans played excellent, and I think in that one set you saw the flashes of brilliance that should be encouraging as far as showing what he's still capable of. I think the rest of the tennis he played this week, and certainly a little bit of rust was there in that first set against Evans too, but I think it was really evident in the next 5 sets he played in Doha. But again, as I've said several times throughout this video, that's expected, and that's better than evidence of erosion in skills or a decline in physicality some way. That should only get better, but the caveat is health and this whole more positive outlook for how Federer will fare this year. I didn't really go out of my way to hear his post-match interviews or press conferences after, but to me, whatever I heard, it seemed like he was keeping the status of his knee pretty close to the belt, and that might mean that he's still not 100%, or that he's just being cautious and isn't totally confident in it after coming off that 14-month layoff. As tennis fans, you certainly hope that it's the latter, but health permitting, it seems like whatever we saw this week is encouraging as far as what seems to be his plan to just keep getting matches under his belt until Wimbledon and peak for the grass this year. Interestingly enough, following his loss yesterday, he withdrew from Dubai, and that had me quite surprised considering Dubai is like a second home to Roger Federer, and after losing in Dubai following just 2 matches, I thought that this would make his Dubai appearance more certain since he had more time to recover and just how comfortable he is on those courts. I believe in his statement withdrawing, he said that he's electing to go train some more in the time off. And I think there's 2 ways you could go about looking at that. On one hand, clearly his stamina ended up being a problem in that Basilashvili match, and some time off training will give him the chance to build back up that endurance, and you have no reason to doubt him. I mean, his training regimen has paid off in the past. He pretty much came off cold turkey as far as match play in 2017 and immediately looked excellent at Hopman Cup and then soon after Australian Open. But on the other hand, and I would say I'm in this camp where I think that I would have liked to see him play Dubai just to get more matches under his belt. I think that the biggest priority for him should be getting more match play in, since he's already playing a pretty limited schedule, as you have to at age 39, and this might just be more of that, managing his schedule. But with more time than I think we would have expected between Doha and Dubai for him, as well as him not playing again till Clay, we know he's not going to be playing Miami, and so with Clay being his first action and only action before Wimbledon, I don't know, I think I just would have wanted him to play in Dubai. I think that his chances would have been good, and regardless of the result, he'd come out on the other end more match tough. But that's just me, and he's Roger Federer. He knows what he's doing. He's more than earned the benefit of the doubt in that regard. He's managed his schedule excellently in this latter part of his career, and he knows what he's doing. So at this point, you just gotta say a step in the right direction, and as fans, it's just a privilege to have him back playing tennis again. It kinda sucks that we're not gonna see him again till Clay, which, I don't know, might be Madrid. But after waiting 14 months to see him play again, we can wait just a little bit more to see him play on the clay yet again. But as for me, that will do it for this video. If you made it this far, I appreciate y'all for watching. If you enjoyed, it would be much appreciated if y'all could sub to the channel. I'm looking forward to uploading more content real soon. But until then, I am out.